In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups. The vagina to investigate and the to prosecute. My ass. These are their stories.
In our first piece of news, we just started getting monetized on YouTube. We also just stopped getting monetized on YouTube.
We don't need your money, Hubert Tube. Listen, good morning.
Good morning, babies.
It's too early. Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan.
And we just have a plethora of news that's going to get us demonetized today.
We do. We started with a clip that really set the tone for that.
It really set the tone. Hey, but first, I want to give you a gift, Saige.
Oh?
Because you're my friend.
I am.
One of my favorite coffee shops here in LA, Go Get 'em Tiger, has a partnership right now with. This is not a sponsored thing. We're demonetized.
We wouldn't play that clip before a sponsored stream.
They're doing a thing with Ted Lasso right now.
Oh my.
For charity. To promote season 2, and one of the things they do is every time you order a drink, they give you the famous Ted Lasso biscuits. So I brought you a box of Ted Lasso biscuits.
Oh, hell yeah.
And they're very good.
They put him in his little pink box.
Not just that, you get a little note from Coach Lasso in every one. This one is the best teams are the ones who aren't afraid to make mistakes.
Oh, that's cute. This one says, kindness makes a comeback at Go Get 'em Tighter. Or the other side. They both say things. To be fair.
They both do say things.
To be fair, both sides say things. I want you to know I value each of your opinions, even when you're wrong.
So yeah, and they make Go Get 'em Tiger has really good bake stuff. So they got together with Apple and the Ted Lasso team and figured out what the recipe would be for Ted Lasso's shortcake biscuits, which if you watch the show are a big deal.
Big freaking deal. All right, try a shortcake biscuit.
It's real good, right?
Well, that's a really good shortbread biscuit.
You should have had it yesterday when it was like all good and fresh. It was somehow even more amazing.
That's really good.
Yeah. If you live in the LA area, they have 4 locations that are doing this all weekend, and they're doing dollar drinks too.
Wow.
So you go get a coffee for $1, they give the $1 to charity, and you get Ted Lasso biscuits.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that for everybody. Damn. All right. Anyways.
We're starting with the most pleasant thing we can. Because, I mean, honestly, are we going to jump right into it? Because it kind of is the biggest story right now. Like, in the world.
All right.
Do we want to go right into it?
Let's do it. Let's start.
Let's get demonetized right off the top so we can continue on.
Yeah.
We want to talk about OnlyFans.
We do. You've probably seen all of this already. There's been a lot of conversation in the news regarding OnlyFans, and it started earlier this week. It started later on Wednesday, before we get to the big piece of news. I mean, this was a big piece of news. OnlyFans has created, Dagger is, for some reason, touching my feet. Scared
He
the hell out of me.
knows. He knows that there's a cookie.
He does. So, OnlyFans announced that they were launching a secondary app and site. They were calling it OFTV. It was going to be a safe for work app that would be able to be published on the App Store and, Google Play Store or whatever that shit is.
Of course, the overwhelming majority of OnlyFans content, almost all OnlyFans content, is adult in nature, whether it's lewds or nudes or straight up porn. Sex workers have been making a lot of money off of OnlyFans.
Yes.
So the idea with OnlyFans TV is any of that content that isn't, that is safe for work, you can put on OnlyFans TV.
They want to compete with your Patreon, your fan house, etc. And they've been saying for a while that they wanted to get into more mainstream content. So that is something they wanted to do. So when they launched this, there was kind of a big sigh of relief from a lot of people of, okay, they don't have to push out the sex workers. to do this thing they want to do of going more advertiser friendly, they can just launch a separate platform and then
everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
Wow.
The people that built their platform for them are happy and still have this platform, but they get to bring on all the new investors, be on the new platforms, do whatever they need to do to grow as a company that requires them, or in their minds requires them, to not be adult in nature.
Yep.
Now,
didn't leave it there. Unfortunately, after everyone rejoiced in this exciting new OFTV project, there was an announcement the next day why they didn't do it at least all at once. Bananas. They are banning sexually explicit videos starting in October. So, to clarify.
should I sign up for Bloomberg?
Okay.
Intro one more time. God damn, we never know when the double audio is going to strike. It could happen to anyone.
It can happen to anyone, anywhere.
So, essentially what this is nudes and lewds will still be allowed as of right now, which is I would say, majority of the content on there. But the actual sex workers, the actual pornography that's on the website will be banned.
Yeah. So this is problematic for a huge number of reasons. First of all, sex work built this platform. And we see this a lot with a lot of internet platforms. I've seen this multiple times since I started working in digital media. And the first time I think I saw it was on a scale this large was maybe like Tumblr or DeviantArt, right? It's okay. Post all the stuff you want to post here. We're a safe space for you. And then when they build up their numbers of creators and user numbers, they go, ooh, we're starting to get big.
Ooh.
If we want to be a big company and play with the big boys, we are going to have to clean up our act.
Yes, they're like, well, we would like some investors, even though they were responsible for $2 billion in revenue last year. And all of that, a majority of that, and especially the foundation of that originally before you had your Bella Thornes and your Karenikoffs sign up, was built on the back of sex workers.
Yeah.
They are taking a portion of the money that these people have made. And it was one of the few places on the internet that those creators were able to go.
And not just go, but like there are other platforms that these adult creators can go to, but the revenue share is not kind to them. Dealing with them is a little bit shady. Getting paid is incredibly hard. One of the things that was nice about OnlyFans, and there was something about OnlyFans, and I think this is the thing that eventually wound up sort of working against them, or they got too caught up in. There was something about OnlyFans that felt more legitimate to people.
It did. It reached a level of mainstream success where it elevated the comfortability of someone who, was previously maybe like something they did that they weren't able to promote necessarily in a public way, or they were a cam girl in that capacity, and cam sites didn't offer what OnlyFans did of the level of control of your prices, the level of control of how little they were taking,
Yeah.
a smaller portion than most cam sites did.
Now, we also saw a growth in the number of creators who were more comfortable making content like this because of OnlyFans. They were going a long way towards normalizing sex work for a lot of people.
Absolutely. And creating safe environments for sex work. Because quite simply, a lot of people who have OnlyFans accounts without that might have been in sex work that actually involved porn with other people, which is a less regulated industry. You're having to deal with other people. There's so many more risks involved. It can be often dangerous for specifically women in it. So the empowerment of having a space that you control to create content on was huge. There are also people talking about the MasterCard thing.
Yeah.
There was an interview between Philip DeFranco and Lena the Plug, one of the largest creators specifically in the porn side of OnlyFans, who said that they already use a payment service that is used by most adult-rated websites.
Right, and that sort of brings us, if you're unfamiliar with what the MasterCard thing is, that sort of brings us to sort of the business reasons that OnlyFans is going to throw at us over the next couple days, and have already begun throwing at us. Number one is that A lot of payment providers do not allow adult services and will shut down their merchant accounts and will not allow them to take credit card payments. They will not be able to act as a payment gateway. There are, like Saige just said, there are payment gateways that are made specifically for adult content. What OnlyFans is going to tell you is that those payment services cost OnlyFans more.
But that's what they're already using.
We'd like to get away from that because we're losing so much money on it. These are the things you're going to hear from OnlyFans. I'm not saying OnlyFans is telling you things that are cool or good or true.
We do not agree.
But these are the business things they're going to tell you. The other things they're going to tell you is, the reason they made this OnlyFans TV. We want to be on the App Store. We don't want to be shut down for being adult content. We want to be on. We want Apple to be able to eventually one day feature us as a creative platform for creators. We want people to be able to download it. We want to be able to accept payments through the Apple Store because we're throwing money away. Now, of course, accepting payments through the Apple Store and giving Apple their cut completely invalidates whatever reasoning they'd be giving you for not wanting to use a payment gateway that accepts adult. You know what I mean? Because Apple takes away more. And then they're also going to talk about legal issues and policing their platform. And we want to make sure that the things that are going on our platform are things that are going to be legal in all countries and in all markets. And that's not something that we have the bandwidth to police or look over, even though they've been doing it for a few years now and making bank. OnlyFans is making billions of dollars.
The only reason they have the opportunity now to get money from investors and the attention and the revenue to show is because sex workers have been creating content there. So all in all, it's a very, very heartbreaking story. It was a time of progress for normalizing sex work that has taken a huge step backwards.
Can I tell you what I think the final bottom line on this whole thing is? Because you remember we were talking about this a few months ago, and I was like, OnlyFans is going to go non-adult.
Yeah.
OnlyFans is going to go non-adult, and it's going to be a problem. They want to take in a lot of investment dollars. They want to boost the valuation of the company, even though getting rid of these creators is actually going to bottom out the valuation of the company. But for a little while, they'll be like, hey, we're going legit. And investors will be like, ooh, OnlyFans, but legit. And so they put all this money into it. It boosts the valuation of OnlyFans. The founders of OnlyFans sell the company and get out.
Probably, yeah.
That's what we're looking at.
I think that's
they
likely.
They can't sell the company and get out if they're still an adult company.
Yeah.
Or at least not for the amount of money they want to make.
Yeah.
And so these guys want their golden parachute. And in order to do that, they've got to fuck everybody else over.
I think that's probably exactly correct. I completely agree with that. It's the thing that we see where they're like, well, nudes and lewds are still going to be fine. It is specific sexual engagement that they are not okay with. And those keep the people like Corinna, who's from like Team 10 or whatever, that made like
the
a million
Vlog Squad.
Is she Vlog Squad?
She's
I thought
Vlog
she was
Squad.
Bigger than Vlog Squad.
She is now, but yeah, she
made like so much money in her first day.
She made $4 million in 48 hours on OnlyFans, posting one lewd photo.
And then you had Bella Thorne, who came in and fucked everybody over. Stuff like that. So those are the kind of people that they're like, well, we'll keep them in doing this. Doing this, we don't lose those people.
Right. And I think that's the thing, is there's sort of like, if you look back on like the golden age, like 30 years ago, 40 years ago, of like, say, something like Playboy magazine and like the Playboy Enterprises, this idea of like fun adult content for everyone.
Sure.
And I think once they started getting people who had some celebrity, they were like, oh, we're doing that now.
Yeah.
We're the fun adult content for everyone.
Right.
And if we play this right, we could be no adult content and
no adult content for no one.
For no one, but we leave billionaires.
Yeah. Playboy was also a company that treated women like absolute garbage.
Oh, yeah.
And shouldn't have been what they are.
Yeah, the idea of that golden age of Playboy is definitely a false one.
A nightmare for women.
Yeah, it's there are a lot of other outside factors. Some people are bringing them up here in the live studio audience. Where like look, banks and app stores and places like this are also the new censorship boards.
Right. Hey, is the country run by oppressive Christians? Is there no separation of church and state?
You know,
in my America?
Not in my America. But even like beyond that, it's like the bank tells you what's appropriate, right? Because you have to get money from these banks. You have to use their merchant accounts. So they kind of are like, look, OnlyFans is doing it. But some of what they're saying, there's a kernel of truth in it. And they're using that kernel of truth and spinning it. But the kernel of truth is, it's hard to make adult content or content that isn't family friendly because merchant accounts don't want to give you a place to accept payments. App stores don't want to put you on and market you to people. If you're on an iOS device, there's not even a way to really, for most people, to sideload an app that Apple doesn't approve of.
Yeah. So
you can't get that content. And it makes it harder and harder, and people have to leave more and more money on the table. OnlyFans is doing fine. This is a secondary issue that we have to bring up because of this, but there are censorship boards.
Yeah.
And they are now banks.
Right.
And app store owners. Yeah. Oh,
the banks, man.
Watnick in the live studio audience, banks are ruining weed and adult content. They really are.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when I started doing YouTube stuff, and I started doing YouTube stuff at Revision 3, and these guys were the executives were standing at the front of the room, and they were going, Hollywood's not going to see us coming. We're going to fucking take over. They're not going to know what hit them. By the time they catch up to us, these old dinosaurs, by the time they catch up to us, we'll be like the new standard of media. No, they have billions and billions of dollars, and the moment it looks like you're doing something that's worth doing, they're gonna take it from you.
Yes.
They're gonna, the country decides that marijuana is cool now? Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Marlboro. I'm Philip Morris. I now own weed. Just because now I can. I couldn't before because it was illegal and I'm a corporation.
Before, it was criminal.
Yeah. Before it was criminal. I couldn't do it when it was a criminal thing. The only criminal things I can do are mistreat workers and pollute the environment. I can't grow the illegal leaf. And now that it's a legal leaf, they're like, we're just going to make sure that all of you people who have been risking your lives to make this product happen.
Yep.
There are a lot of gatekeepers out there. OnlyFans is about to fall prey to and become one of them.
All right. We got it out of the way at the top. Let's talk about games. Shall we?
Thank God we have Ted Lasso biscuits today.
I know, right? You just got to look down every once in a while at the little message from Ted. We'll just keep it here for us. I want you to know I value each of your opinions, even when you're wrong.
That's great.
We'll just keep it here to look at sometimes when the news gets bad.
Let's jump into game news.
Let's do it. So first things first.
I'm the greatest. QuakeCon. It's all around us.
It's all around us. It's really happening.
It's all around us. And there have been a lot of big announcements. One of the ones, it's literally the biggest announcement to me. And I want to unpack the psychology of how that could be.
Well, the biggest announcement is you can have Skyrim again. Another edition. This is an anniversary edition for the 10-year anniversary of Skyrim. You want to...
I've already bought Skyrim on 8 platforms.
You want
3 different ways.
You want a 9th? I mean, hopefully they want you to have a 10th. One a year for 10 years of Skyrim. So,
this is the big 10-year anniversary edition of Skyrim, everybody. First of all, mazel tov to Mr. and Mrs. Skyrim on their boy growing up to be so strong. So true. Strong and well-liked. This is going to add a lot of new things to Skyrim. First of all, it's going to have next-gen upgrades for PS5 and Xbox Series X.
All right.
Great.
We want that.
They could have done that on the other version. That's fine. They didn't.
Okay, yeah.
I guess just pay for it again. Number 2, fishing. Which, like, whenever I hear a little fishing mini game, I go, okay, a little fishing mini game. Okay. But apparently it's not a big fishing thing. It's not a real big fish.
No real big fish.
No. It's a little mechanic.
Okay.
But then also they're adding something like 500 pieces of community and additional content.
Wow.
Little mods and things that people have been making over the years.
Yeah.
That have added to Skyrim.
That's huge.
Do you know what they're not adding, Saige?
What are they not adding?
VR. You still have to buy the VR version separately.
Oh.
You still have to. So if this had VR, I would buy it again. Because you remember, I don't have the VR version of Skyrim.
Yeah.
I have the special edition of Skyrim, which I guess fuck me. Fuck me for buying that.
Is the 10th anniversary edition going to be available in VR separately?
It doesn't have VR. I've read nothing
There's
about
no
VR.
VR edition of it.
Yeah. Will they? Maybe in 6 months.
But they haven't announced.
They haven't announced it.
Interesting.
Isn't it wild? So there's going to be new spells, there's new quest content, there's new items, there's all kinds of new stuff. No ver. But hey, people just do keep buying the Skyrim. And every day more and more people are born that haven't bought Skyrim yet.
That's so true. Some kids just came of Skyrim age. Mm-hmm. And this will be their first Skyrim.
Is the Skyrim age 10?
I think it depends on the kid, but I'd sit in the 10 to 13 range.
That's cool. So yeah, this was a weird and interesting announcement. I don't know. BBs, are you gonna buy Skyrim again?
I think I've only bought Skyrim 3 times.
So you're due for another.
So I think I'm due, is what I'm saying. I don't have it for anything really current gen.
Okay.
I think the last one I have it for is Xbox One.
Okay.
I don't think I have it on PC.
Okay.
And if there's new stuff, look, Skyrim's one of my favorite games of all time. I don't want to miss any new stuff.
No, God, no.
I'd be so embarrassed.
Oh my God, how embarrassed would you be
if I missed the new stuff?
Oh my gosh, if there was a new plant and you didn't see it,
right? Bertaka Brett said that they've not bought Skyrim yet. They've not played. Clobag said they just started playing Skyrim in the Panini. I'm so sorry for your timing. I bought the VR one recently. I can't do it again so soon. That's fair. What is our release for this?
November 11th, I believe. So it's going to be on exactly the 10-year anniversary of the original.
Just in time for the holidays.
Yeah. Get your, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be getting the new boxes, the good new game boxes, and they're going to be like, what's a cozy, comfy, familiar game that I can buy on my new good game box? Because especially if you're on a PlayStation, you've got like 4 games.
Yep, you've already run out of all of the new things you bought the console for.
Yeah, so maybe
as always, we'll revert back to Skyrim and Grand Theft Auto.
My default animation is just playing Skyrim.
Yeah, 100%.
When my character is idling, I'm just playing Skyrim.
When you're done with your Miles Morales and your Demon Souls that you bought the console for in the first place, probably just play a little Skyrim, maybe a little Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Now the actual, I think, biggest big boy news to come out of QuakeCon is this enhanced anniversary edition of the original Quake, which is literally out on everything right now.
They just dropped it.
They just dropped a new Quake. So you remember that there was a rumor that Machine Games was working on something Quake. We talked about how, they're opening up and they're doing the 10-year anniversary keynote with Machine Games. There must be something new coming. And the answer is yes. This new remastered version of Quake, which is out on literally everything. If you own anything that plays games, this is out. All the expansions are part of it, but Machine Games also made an entirely new expansion just for this edition. Dimension of the Machine, an all-new Quake campaign for the original Quake.
Wow.
Yep. They're going to add more mods and missions. There is cross-play multiplayer across all platforms, no matter what you and your friends are playing on. And it's got the local split screen.
That looks fun as hell.
It's pretty good, man. It's Quake.
I've never played Quake.
Oh, Quake's pretty good.
So maybe I'll try a Quake. Maybe this
Yeah.
will be how I try a Quake. This is a lot more than we were expecting from QuakeCon based on that lineup. We did go over the initial lineup a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's both.
Pleasantly surprised.
It's both. It's somehow both more and less, if that makes sense, because I don't think we expected this Skyrim news at all. But
We're not surprised.
We're not surprised. I mean, the only thing Skyrim that was really on there was like a Remembering Skyrim panel or something,
Yeah.
and then there was the Gus Johnson live play. But there wasn't like something that said like more Skyrim. There were some people that were expecting a little bit more from Machine Games, like maybe there was like a whole new Quake coming, which I was like, man, they just finished, like let them go.
Yeah.
There's going to be some time. I do think, I hope that this goes well, this re-release, because that would mean, maybe Machine Games brought back Wolfenstein in a big way.
Right.
Maybe they bring back Quake. I'd love to see a new Quake. In the meantime, get out whatever you have that plays video games and play this remastered version of Quake.
I think I will. Maybe I'll power on my PlayStation.
Maybe, but I doubt it.
Yeah. Fair.
One last piece of news from the QuakeCons. Arcane was talking a little bit about DeathLoop.
We love a DeathLoop.
We're waiting on that DeathLoop.
We've been waiting on that DeathLoop.
We done been waiting on that DeathLoop. It takes, listen, sometimes it's not 8 a.m., sometimes it's not May. You know what I mean? It's now coming out, I believe it comes out on my birthday, September 14th, right? I think that's what we said.
Everything's a happy birthday gift to Anthony.
It's lovely to have been born in the beginning of Q4 because it really makes you feel that everything is around you. Our consumer-based culture really loves mid-September, and it makes you feel like, oh, all gifts for me.
Well, because they say, do you remember?
The 21st night of September?
Yeah.
The news from Arcane, not tons. The game's coming in a month. We've seen a lot of it. We know what's up. But this is something that I found very interesting.
Do tell.
The developers said Deathloop PvP is not built for competitive play.
Okay.
It's an anecdote generator. I love this analogy. What they're saying is this is a game that's meant to be for PvP. Shit happens that you are like, do you believe the thing that I just did?
Yeah.
Or did you see?
Make something weird happen.
It's fucking, I like that. That's cool. I think so many AAA games, whether they should or not, have built their entire multiplayer component around, we're going to be the next big esport.
Yep.
No, you're not. Uncharted 2? Get the fuck out of here.
No.
No, you're not.
So do something else with that in mind. And they're doing something else.
Yeah, and I love this. What drove us to add PvP to the game was not the competitive aspect of it, really. That's why there's no leaderboard, nothing like that. We want two elements of chaos in a simulated world, creating interesting moments. Those moments of, I didn't really plan for it to go that way, but that was so awesome. We want you to hit the record button on your PS5 and save that clip and love it.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's nice to be surprised by a game when players can add to the mix, be it something very random or chaotic. Something like that is a perfectly executed plan where you think, oh, the other person is a mastermind. One of those things where it's just like, how did you go from there to there to there to there?
Right. And I want to try it next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I hope that this does, to some extent, kind of shake up the expectation of PvP games. For the fun of PvP and not the competitive aspect is so my vibe.
I love that. And I want it all coming back. I understand. Games are naturally competitive. Leaderboards, all that stuff. It's all part of games.
Right.
Scores.
And it's totally valid to have that too. Those should also exist.
But I like a game that's just a multiplayer game that's just built around like, hey, Are you and your friends sitting around and you want to do some cool shit?
Yeah. The point of the game, it's the game.
Let's fucking roll. So yeah, very excited about that.
Speaking of competitive games, we'll just quickly note something. A new trailer dropped for Call of Duty Vanguard. We are not promoting Call of Duty Vanguard.
Listen,
Don't buy it.
If you want to see all of the details about Call of Duty Vanguard, they're out there.
Don't.
To my friend Alexa Ray Correa, whose first big writing gig is the campaign for Call of Duty Vanguard. Alexa, I'm so sorry. But, you know,
hopefully
we're not...
it's a cool thing on your resume that gets you a better job.
Yeah,
that,
we unfortunately are not going to promote your game right now. But in addition to all of the new information, we can still congratulate... Yeah, everybody's like, oh, Alexa. We can still congratulate Alexa and be happy for Alexa and not, promote Call of Duty right now. In addition to all of the promotion, though, there was something interesting that we all noticed when they dropped that new trailer.
Yeah. The thing about it was that there was absolutely zero Activision branding on it. And that is the sneakiest fucking bullshit. They are just hoping that consumer level players that, you know, don't particularly have an interest in this industry, that have still gotten the news of Activision Blizzard because it spread so much, maybe just like won't realize that Call of Duty is an Activision
Yeah,
game?
they're just like, oh yeah, Activision, yeah, fuck those guys. Overwatch and World of Warcraft, yeah, fuck them. But yo, dude, like, what's up with the new Call of Duty? Because that's different, right? It's like, Activision, is that you? No.
No, you're thinking of Blizzard.
I'm just a dude who's interested with my bros and the headshots and the no scopes.
You're thinking of Overwatch.
And what's funny is, like, you know, to the average person who's been hearing headlines about Activision Blizzard, particularly in connection with World of Warcraft, people who don't follow games news, the people who buy 4 or 5 games a year,
The people who don't get up at 8 a.m.
the people who don't get up at 8 a.m. to get informed,
You BBs.
they don't know
Stay
what
informed.
companies make everything.
Nope.
You know? The Call of Duty trailer simply started with Call of Duty presents.
Call of Duty presents Call of Duty.
Call of Duty presents a Call of Duty production written by Call of Duty and directed by Call of Duty.
Published by Call of Duty. Welcome. A Call of Duty game.
Okay, that's
Nice
a strat.
Fucking try, you absolute fools.
It's just 3 Call of Duties in a trench coat.
Yes, it is. It's 3 Activisions in a trench coat.
How dare they?
Don't fall for it, quite simply. You BBs, you get up at 8 a.m., so you're always informed.
I think that's wild. I think that's wild.
Honestly,
They
such
really
a bold move.
They really decided their strategy right now is just we're just not gonna wear a name tag. And maybe people won't know we're the bad employee. I
Right.
used to do that.
Oh, same.
I used to do that.
I used to wear
where's
other
your name?
people's name
Where's your
tags.
name tag? What's your name, sir? I'm Mark, and I hate you. And you better tell him Mark said that, and then I would run away.
Yes.
Like-
The greatest revenge is picking up someone who you don't like's name tag while they're not there and being an asshole in it.
You know,
When I was a less descript looking person, you fucking bet. You absolutely bet. I always wore a fake name on my name tag because men are creepy.
sure.
And I had to start doing so when I was like 19 because
It's later than I would have thought.
I mean, I started working in retail not long before that.
Yeah.
Started at 18. And men would find me on Facebook from my first name because my first name's kind of uncommon, especially in the spelling. It's not hard to do. So I used to wear a fake name, and like I would change it sometimes because you could just go up and request one. So people would be like, where the fuck is Danny? And they'd be like, there's no Danny.
There's no Danny.
We don't know what Danny.
Danny's been dead for 30 years. Activision really pulled the fake name tag.
They really pulled the fake name tag.
Hey, maybe you pull a better public statement.
I feel
Hey,
like...
maybe you start your Call of Duty event with a, hey, we understand, we get it, we're owning up to this, and we're gonna do better in the future. And like, even, they didn't even do that nothing head tilt, head nod to what's going on that companies normally do, where some guy in a blazer and a shirt, a blazer and a t-shirt with a logo on it comes out and is like, we've got to do better. And we know that we've got to do better. And so that's why we have focused on doing better. And now let's look at the no-scopes. You know what I mean? They didn't even do that.
I feel like a couple of things happened. One, like, y'all, hold on the game for a bit. Refocus your energy on stopping assaulting people in your workplace. And they all sat around and they were like, the news is really bad. The news cycle's rough. What do we do? Do we delay the game? We can't be putting out an announcement right now while it sounds like this, right? Like while people think this of us. Now would not be the time to put a game out. And somebody went, wait, I've got it. Ready? What if we don't tell them it's us?
But everybody... But it is us. We're doing a big event.
But if we don't say it...
We're like a multi-billion-dollar...
But we just don't tell them.
All of this comes from, like, treating your employees badly and assuming that people won't know, who won't remember that you're the company that makes the game.
Yeah.
If you just don't... Just shows the basic what they think about people.
Yeah, they just think we have no object permanence.
Just dumb idiot babies.
If I don't see an Activision, what's that?
We don't have to treat employees super well. And we also don't have to treat customers super well. And I hate when gaming shows rail on consumers and consumer rights and things like that. It just sounds so libertarian neckbeard to me. It sounds like one step away from a Ben Shapiro video. But what I'm going to tell you is this. They do think you're stupid. And they do be showing that. And the only thing that they care about is your money. They just care about your money. If you buy, and here's the thing, if you buy the fucking if you buy the fucking shoot boy game, they're gonna get the money, and a lot of people are. I mean, this game is still gonna sell incredibly well. That's the bummer,
right? Because you're gonna have parents buying it for their kids. You're gonna have middle and high school kids that their parents just, I get them the new Call of Duty.
And then people who literally don't care, right? Like, we can't factor that out.
Right.
There are a lot of people who are like, shut up, make the Warcraft.
I am reminded every day that there's a lot of people that simply do not care about women and their safety.
Shut up, hot new diva skin when? Put the fake lady in a bikini and shut up. Some people are like that, right?
Yep. So anyways, don't buy the new Call of Duty. Don't be fooled by their really shitty, petty trickery. And
now, we're gonna send a gift basket to Alexa because I feel so bad that this is her first big writing gig.
But it's a great thing to have on your resume.
It really is.
It is a badge to show that you survived it. And hopefully will lead to other excellent projects at teams that are not vile.
Moving on with other big game news, or actually, you know what? A lot of people have been mentioning this in the live studio audience, and it did just happen. It is breaking news.
Yeah.
And it is something that's very important. We've been talking about it. Hey. The Jeopardy thing. You've been following it, right?
You've been following it. Everybody wanted LeVar Burton as the new host of Jeopardy. Everybody was expecting it. He guest hosted Jeopardy, and they were like, this is how it happens, right?
Yeah, Our personal favorite was LeVar. A lot of people were Team LeVar. There are other hosts that people really enjoyed, but the crux of this situation is that Mike Richards, who was one of the guest hosts, is also the new executive producer of Jeopardy.
Right.
And so this host search was really a way to bring a lot of attention to Jeopardy and to Mike Richards. So when he took over as permanent host, people would be like, wow, yeah, he was really good. I watched all those other people, and he was just as good as those famous people that I love, and I love Jeopardy, and I'm glad he's here. Backfired, because he's not a great host.
Did he not already work there?
He worked there. He was part of the transitional team to bring Jeopardy back. He came in a couple years ago.
Okay.
He came from the Game Show Network. He is a host with game show experience. He has worked in TV for years. He also leaves a fucking string of sexual harassment and assault.
I hadn't heard about that
He's
yet.
got 3 separate suits against him from his past jobs at other networks. And the network hired him to be the producer. And when he sat across from them and said, hey, I'm also your new host, they said, great. But all this shit came out. And just this morning, Mike Richards stepped down. Because you gotta. You fucking jerk.
Wow.
He thought
This
he
all
was
is
gonna,
happening now, so I didn't research this for this.
He thought he was gonna sail right in there. News of his past came out a little bit during his guest hosting, and then started spreading a bit more. There are other Jeopardy hosts that have some tarnished. There are other guests that have some tarnished reputations. Ken Jennings being one of them.
Yep.
Past Golden Boy, current jerk Ken Jennings.
Yep.
But much like the Activision thing, a lot of people didn't know that.
Right.
They just remember Ken Jennings from winning all the money and being a very smart boy. They just know Mike Richards is the guest host. They don't know that he's the producer.
They just can't get this right. Like Ken Jennings, like really? Like, is it that hard? It seems like, and I'm going to be honest with you, Jeopardy, I'll tell you a secret. Maybe take a fucking break from hiring old cishet white men.
Well, Alex Trebek had a successor in mind. Her name is, I believe, Laura. I'm trying to remember if anybody knows.
Of course, they wouldn't let a fucking woman host it. God damn it, fucking hell.
But she is a political reporter. She's on CNN. She's a brilliant person. I believe she had a political or a nonprofit space or position in the space. Laura Coates. He chose Laura Coates. He wanted Laura Coates to do it.
Now, I don't know a ton about Laura Coates, but are you telling me that Alex Trebek said, I would like a just incredibly well-known, well-respected, intelligent, capable, qualified woman of color to replace me? And they said, oops, all cis white men?
They sure did. Our beloved Alex Trebek, literally on his deathbed, said it should be Laura Coates.
Of course they did.
She's a legal analyst. She's a lawyer. She's a host on Sirius XM. She is an anchor of a CNN show. She's a serious person. She's the real deal. He wanted Laura Coates.
They didn't even put her up. They didn't even give her an episode.
They didn't give her an episode. They didn't call her.
You absolute motherfuckers.
So, but instead, Mike Richards came in, took this producer job, and said, "No, I'm the guy. Don't worry, I'm the guy." Mike Richards, of course, in addition to these sexual assault allegations, had a podcast.
Of course he did.
If you ever
middle-aged white man.
If you ever want to know if somebody's told on themselves, if you ever need to find a confession, it's on an old white guy's podcast. Okay. The number of sexist, racist jokes, fat shaming, xenophobic, jokes about foreigners, all this stuff was on his podcast.
Somebody in chat had also referenced that he had said some really ableist things.
He did say some ableist stuff. He has that horrible old man sense of humor where he's like, here's the thing. He's like, oh, it's just jokes. It's just jokes. He has that "Are you triggered" sense of humor. But the people who have that "Are you triggered" sense of humor always know when to turn it off, right? They always know when the wrong people are watching. And so he was a very sweet man on Jeopardy. So what they eventually came up with was a dual host situation. Mike Richards would host the regular syndicated Jeopardy show. And then Mayim Bialik, Television's Blossoms. I've got some issues with Mayim Bialik's fundamentalist views on women and feminism and sexuality, but mostly known for being pretty cool and science forward, right? She was going to host primetime specials and those special like college weeks and things like that. Anytime it was like a special fucking Jeopardy, it was going to be her. And then Mike Richards would host the daily episodes, and they were like, isn't this a lovely thing?
No.
Everybody gets what they want.
No.
Nobody wanted Mike Richards.
No one got what they wanted here. Nobody got what they wanted here.
If LeVar Burton does not receive a phone call today, I'll be very cross. And let me tell you something. If LeVar Burton's people aren't cracking their knuckles and doing one of these and being like, let's sit down at the table to talk money.
Let's talk about how badly you need LeVar Burton now.
You want Reading Rainbow? You want squeaky clean Geordie LaForge?
Uh-huh.
You want activist in the fucking Black American community? LeVar Burton? Now you got to pay more.
Right. Then you're going to need
now
LeVar Burton money.
You got to have LeVar.
You're going to have Reading Rainbow money.
Now, he's stepping down as host. He has not left as showrunner. I think that's very interesting. But hopefully, he eventually will.
Yeah. I don't agree that the job is tainted. Kishahari in the live studio audience said, should LeVar take that job now? It's a little tainted.
Oh, hi, Kish.
Oh, hi, Quiche.
Hi,
I apologize
Quiche.
for saying that wrong.
It's Kishore. You got it. But
yeah.
Hi, Quiche. I know you.
I think that I think that most jobs in the world have already been tainted by cishet white men, quite simply. So if we don't encourage people of marginalized communities to take those positions and do something better with them, we would have no jobs actually at all. We would have no president, which that'd be kind of tight. We would have no political spectrum whatsoever.
This is a bungled host search, right? What this was is a bungled talent search, and it was done publicly
twice.
But it's not like he was the host of Jeopardy, did a horrible job, and was also we are hearing stories of like contestants and crew members saying that he's abusive. Like, it didn't get that far. We didn't give him the job. So I don't think the job is tainted. I think this is one person who was the absolute wrong person to bring in. I mean, obviously there's a system that supported this person and chose him. Two?
Well, yeah, because they had brought in the asshole from the podcast beforehand.
No, that's supposed to be. What guy from the podcast? Ken Jennings?
Yeah, Ken Jennings.
Oh no, he was a guest.
He was supposed to be the new host.
He was I thought he was interim host. I thought he was never hired.
I'd still say that that's two back-to-back, even if you've brought them in as interim host.
Yeah,
that's two.
I thought he was part of the search, and I don't think he was ever officially hired. He was just the first guest host.
I'm still gonna say that's two.
Yeah, listen, their choices of guest hosts not entirely great, right? I'm saying as far as like the team on Jeopardy, they brought in one guy like to run this thing, who was the worst person to run it, and removing him because it's only been a couple months, you know?
Yeah.
And there's no regular Jeopardy host yet. I think it's still a good show. I don't think it's tainted yet. I think this guy is probably tainted, and he should be.
God, I hope they take him out as showrunner. I think they're probably going to have to after this. That's my hope.
I think he is saying that he has made the choice to step down. They're letting him do this the right way publicly, which means they're giving him a little too much leeway. I think we will hear an announcement that he feels like the show is not a good fit for him anymore, or he's decided to move on. We'll get that thing from him, you know?
Fingers crossed that he moves on to never being seen again.
So that's the Jeopardy news. Man,
That's
thank
what we
God
would
it is
like.
fucking Ted Lasso biscuit day, you know?
I know, right?
Jesus.
Get
Thank
in
God
the
it is Ted
fuck outta
Lasso.
here. I will say, most publicized talent searches are fake. Have you heard about a publicized talent search in the last year or two?
Oh.
I don't know, or ever. If the talent search is publicized, whether it is open to the public or not, whether they're interviewing people right there live, it's fake.
Hey. My first ever gig was show host search for Attack of the Show. They brought in 4 of us, and then they hired Olivia Munn.
Maybe,
And Olivia was great. The show was great. She was an amazing pick. But they really did tell us that it was a legitimate host search and that we had a chance. And it was like, no, that was never true.
it's almost like they can just keep repeating that exact same process and people will keep believing it. It's almost like they can do that.
It's almost like we saw it again from the same company.
And people really did out here on Twitter campaign.
Interesting.
It's almost like
And like I said, no shade to anybody from Attack of the Show.
a little shade to some people from Attack
A little
of the Show.
shade to some people from Attack of the Show.
I'm going to agree to disagree on that.
Everybody was very kind to me.
You're a man.
Of course, it was a good. It was a nice week of work. They treated me very well, but we were certainly there under false pretenses, and that kind of sucked.
Anyways,
Anyway,
moving on.
Ted Lasso biscuit day.
It is Ted Lasso Biscuit Day. Let's talk about the thing we put in the title.
Probably the biggest gaming business news, and we are a business show. I, of course, have my street MBA.
I, of course, passed the bar in the state of Virginia, so I'm here for legal advice. Are you able to pull up the video on your end so that we can play it for them?
Yeah, sure.
Let's hear these comments from Soulja Boy.
Now,
Soulja Boy, tell him.
Soulja Boy is no stranger to the gaming scene. He has been rebranding and selling Chinese manufactured consoles and emulation boxes for years now.
Yeah, the Soulja Boy console.
And now this is a 3-minute video where he goes
Can
on
we
a
just
rant.
get to a piece of it?
I don't know. I'll tell you this. I don't know where the good piece is. But Soulja Boy did go on social media and let everybody know he bought Atari.
For $100 million, he bought
He
Atari.
said he bought Atari. He's the CEO of Atari now. I own it. He also hired Chet Hanks, he said, to like an executive position.
They said that Atari was wowed by the success of his consoles, and upon seeing his line flourishing, they offered him the company for $140 million.
They called him up and they said, "Man, you're reselling AliExpress stuff so good. If you give us $140 million, which is nothing to you, the Soulja Boy, we will let you own Atari." And he said, $140 million? That's nothing to me. And also, I need to own Atari, so this is a great day. I can't believe I got all this done before 11 a.m. And now he's the CEO of Atari.
Wow! That's so cool.
It's so cool, and
Oh my God.
we're so happy for him. And congratulations to Soulja Boy, the new owner of Atari, definitely legally and for sure.
So about that.
Go
Soulja
on.
Boy does not own Atari. His net worth is $30 million. He did not buy $140
Well, sure, because he spent
million.
$140 million of it on Atari. Like, if you're looking up his net worth this morning, that's going to be his net worth after he purchased Atari. And he doesn't keep that all liquid, Saige.
Right, of course.
We're talking net worth. That's not gross. He's got a lot of money in properties.
So, Atari said, just a small message on Twitter that says, "We know that CEO of Atari is a dream job, but that honor belongs to Wade Rosen."
Imagine you're Wade Rosen. You're Wade Rosen. current CEO of Atari, which Atari right now, if you've followed the troubled business and legal history of Atari, if Wade Rosen is the CEO of Atari, it's because he wants to be there and not for any other reason. There's not much going on at Atari. Imagine you're Wade Rosen and you wake up and Soulja Boy is like, yeah, I'm the captain now. Look at me. Look at me.
He just walked in and sat in Wade's desk, sat at his desk, kicked the door in, went into his office.
Wade sits down at his breakfast nook in his robe.
Yeah.
And he gets out his morning, and his partner kisses him on the cheek and puts like one of those little plates that looks like cartoon perfect, like ham and eggs. And he goes, well, what a great day to be Wade Rosen, CEO of Atari. I'm just going to look at the business news and take a long sip of my coffee.
Do not spit take, and I swear to God.
Saige actually has a no spit taking in the studio rule now. Because
Why do we have it?
Well, because I did a spit take and they're funny. And
there's equipment everywhere.
Yeah.
There is no way you can turn that doesn't have equipment or your small dog. So you can choose. If you want a spit take, you have to do it on dagger.
But now this is Chekhov's spit take. We promised a spit take in Act 1.
We didn't promise one.
So yeah, Wade Rosen was like, no, that's not. But what's funny is that anybody took this seriously. But what's double funny is Soulja Boy woke up in the morning and decided he could just say he owned a corporation that he didn't own.
And that's so funny.
He just woke up and he's like, how would people ever find out?
So funny. I think we're gonna start doing that.
Where would they go to find this information?
We're just gonna start doing it on the show. I mean, we did just start saying that I passed the bar in Virginia, but
You
I think
didn't really pass the bar in Virginia?
You prove it, right? But
that's legal advice.
So then we can start just doing shit like this, right? Like, but like, you gotta go not too big, right? Like, I don't want to say like Disney necessarily, but I'll say like, I'm the CEO of Nestle Toll House.
Do you remember Street Sharks? I own Street Sharks now.
Yeah.
I got a call from Street Sharks and they were like, you're a visionary.
Yeah.
And when it comes to anthropomorphic animals with abs, do you want to own Street Sharks? And I was like, yeah, I'll add Street Sharks to my valuable portfolio. That also includes Samurai Pizza Cats.
Yeah. I'm the CEO of Bop It.
Wow, that was you?
Bop It.
You're Bop It?
I'm Bop It. I bought Bop It.
Wow.
I spent $100 million. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Except I'm a business.
Oh, I can't believe it. Zelia says, as director of Sexy Beast, I approve.
Fallon96 said, okay, I'm not going to confirm anything, but have y'all ever heard of Bandai Namco?
You heard of a little something called Naruto?
Photographer Brett said, I have bought animal crackers.
Hey, congratulations. Magus Union says, no love for biker mice from Mars. I'm going to have a very exciting announcement about biker mice from Mars later on today, as well as Bucky O'Hare. So I am business. It's me, business.
We bought business. Everybody.
We bought business. Everyone's saved. We
CEO.
bought business and we're going to release it from its jar back into space where it can't harm anybody anymore. Humanity's problem was trying to trap business in a box and use it for their own gain. But we are going to set it free and we're going to return to the land.
We're redistributing the business. Internet, inheritance, the internet.
God, I love that this dude woke up this morning and was just like, I'm a lie about owning Atari. Nobody knows what an Atari is. How would they know?
How would they know?
They're not going to know.
Let's talk about one more person who woke up and did something fucking weird.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, every day this man wakes up and does something fucking weird.
This fucking
guy.
guy. You want to talk about another dude who coasted for a few years publicly, and then we were like, wait a minute, this guy.
Wait a minute, this guy. Let's talk about Elon Musk.
There's a no spit take rule.
Yeah, for good reason. Elon Musk is building AI robots.
Sure.
Look at this scope image of them.
Well, that's not terrifying at all. I mean, that's certainly, what I want the robot from the collarbone down to look like a smooth, weird sex doll. Mm-hmm. And from the collarbone up to always look like it's in shadow and you can't quite tell who's following you. I think that's the vibe we're going for.
The lower portion of it, from the neck down, looks a lot like the Westworld robots.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot like them. The ones who are like just the robot base that work on the like more realistic ones.
Who do you think has to take Elon Musk's calls when it's 3 a.m. and he's high and he watches Westworld and he goes, "We got to do one of those"? Who has to take that call?
Grimes.
I mean, Grimes listens, but here's the problem: Grimes corroborates.
Yeah.
He passes it to Grimes, and Grimes goes, "Oh, you definitely got to build a Westworld."
Oh my God, that's such a
Oh
good
my
idea.
God.
Wow.
That's such a vibe. Building your own Westworld, vibe.
Obviously, those robots in Westworld are played by a friend of the show, Alex Ward, and they do be looking like Alex.
They do.
Right? Like that
You know,
looks like Alex.
I didn't know that,
Yeah.
but it makes sense.
Yeah. That looks like Alex. They built an Alex. Anyways, it's a humanoid
Anyway.
robot intended to be capable of unsafe, repetitive, or boring tasks. Okay. What the fuck is that? I'm going to need you to be more specific, Elon.
Oh, anything that isn't talking about Pickle Rick or listening to Joe Rogan.
Giving examples such as attaching bolts with a spanner or picking up your shopping. Said it will have profound
The two things I do every day.
implications for the economy. Essentially, in the future, physical work will be a choice. Tesla is arguably the world's biggest robotics company. It shouldn't be arguable. That actually should be very easy to define. Our cars are basically semi-sentient robots on wheels.
Love that.
It kind of makes sense to
Yeah.
put that technology in a humanoid form. We think we'll probably have a prototype sometime early next year that basically looks like this with the image. It's intended to be friendly, of course, navigate through a world that's built for humans, and eliminate boring, repetitive, and dangerous tasks. Now,
Zelos in the live studio audience says, "As the CEO of Tesla, I'm canceling this project." I bought Tesla this morning.
thank good. Zelos, I'm so glad you bought Tesla this morning. This is excellent news. So, people naturally were like, hey, yeah, in the back, that's
Can it do a choking?
terrifying. Is it gonna hurt me?
Can it do a choking? And a punching? Could robot hold knife?
Cause
Robot have good aim?
that robot looks like it could hold a knife, dog.
Yeah, no shade to our dear friend of the show, Alex Ward. But when you say friendly shape,
Alex,
you know
Alex?
what I mean? Making a robot that looks like Westworld Alex Ward.
right, Alex, I love you. You're not a friendly shape.
Listen, there's Spider-Man, and then there's a man that's a spider. And what they're doing is they're making a robot based on a man that looks like a spider. And they're saying, what a friendly robot to do all your things. So, of course, everybody goes, Elon, what happened if robot decide to do a knife?
Well, Elon said, we're doing it so at a physical level, you can run away from it.
Just zigzag. Like an alligator. If you zigzag, it doesn't know what to do. This is one of those things that Elon Musk says that, like, everybody in the listen, we're investigative journalists here. On top of everything else we are. I have some friends that work for Tesla. I have some friends that worked for SpaceX. Worked, past tense. Anybody at either company said the most terrifying thing in the world. There are two terrifying things. Number one, when Elon has an idea. And number two, when Elon tweets.
Yeah.
Or gives an interview.
Yeah.
Because he refuses, because he's the cool edgelord meme guy. And so they can't tell him not to say, oh, but you could run away from it. You just run away from it.
You could just run away. First of all,
what if a real what would you do if a real Elon Musk goes, what would you poors do if a real person was attacking you? I know you didn't grow up in apartheid era South Africa like me with gun turrets at my school to protect me from the minorities who are the majority over there. What do people whose fathers don't own diamond mines do when people attack them? What do you do? Do you run? You can run from this. Whatever you do, whatever you people are doing in the crime-riddled streets that I don't walk on, that's what you do.
He also said you'd most likely be able to overpower it. And then he said, so hopefully that doesn't ever happen, but you know. Hey man, you're the one making it. You're not supposed to say hopefully. He literally said, that is a direct quote. We are doing it at a mechanical level, at a physical level, so you can run away from it and most likely overpower it.
You know,
don't worry, you'll be able to outrun the robot.
This is like when he gave his brain chip press conference and he's like, oh yeah, we can see everything that happens in the brain chip. we can remotely see what's up with your brain chip.
I also feel like he shouldn't be able to do this. I agree. Like, look, as somebody who grew up in a world where Boston Dynamics had a YouTube channel when I was in late high school, and I was really, 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 really interested in robotics, and I had to come to terms with the understanding of what Boston Dynamics is.
Oh, they just make good boys.
I thought they just made good boys.
They just make good boys.
I was like, Osmo, Boston Dynamics.
Yeah.
Those were all of my interests in high school.
Now, Osmo, still a good boy. Japan, still making the good boy robots.
Uh-huh, absolutely. We haven't heard anything from Osmo in a while. Osmo, UK?
You all right, Osmo?
Honda, you making the robot?
Honda's not really. They've released some Osmos.
I know,
but
no,
I don't think they're not doing any more
I think
Osmos.
it's a new project, unfortunately. But anyways,
Anyway.
I can't tell you how badly a part of me wants robots. Just wants robots.
Can I just have
And
one
loves robots.
fucking robot friend in my life? Can I just have one fucking AI robot friend in my life? Listen, Dagger earmuffs. My dog's getting old. I want next dog to be forever dog. Can we get on that?
I do own a Roomba. Somebody asked in the chat and said, do you own a Roomba? I do own a Roomba, and as of yesterday, I have acquired accessories for it.
First of all, mazel tov.
Thank you.
I do have, listen, my Roomba, my off-brand Roomba is not going to do, he gets stuck on a rug.
So does Dagger.
And so does Dagger. So, I mean, none of those robot dog, robot vacuum, safe.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a big dog, like Boston
Does your
Dynamics
dog listen to
naked.
the show? Yeah, he's right behind
He's
us.
right behind us. Be cool. Be cool. Yeah, Elon Musk shut up challenge. Can you do it? Try to do it. I think we have nothing but great news for the rest of this.
Yeah.
I think we have nothing but really cool, great. Oh no, we do have one heartbreaking thing that you need to deliver.
Okay,
I'm
going to tell
sorry.
it to you here now. Hey everyone. A couple weeks ago, I got to do a very cool photo shoot with Smosh because we specifically did part of this photo shoot to announce that we were going to be together at VidCon. As of today, VidCon is canceled.
I'm sorry. It was gonna be baby's first VidCon.
It was gonna be baby's first VidCon. I was gonna get to go with Smosh.
I know. You'll get to it. It'll happen next year. It will happen. You will be at VidCon. You're a big deal and you do cool things, and you'll be a guest at VidCon.
It's just we were gonna be special guests.
I know.
It was gonna be pretty cool.
You'll be a special guest next year. I promise.
They said that they will be doing it in June of 2022.
Yeah.
It is safer to not do it. Obviously, the Delta variant is raging. We were all sitting here like, So how's this gonna work, VidCon? But I wanted it.
You'll get
very
it.
Sad.
You'll get it. Let me tell you something. Next year, God willing, and the creek don't rise, everything's open again. We are going to make sure you're going to do the con circuit big. We're going to make sure that you do it. Pixel Circus is going to do the con circuit big. You're going to do it with Smosh. We're going to make sure that you get to do all the cool, I'm a professional in this space now things. We're going to make sure.
You're a good bean, Anthony.
You're going to do everything. We would have loved to come to Gen Con. We were talking about it.
It didn't feel safe.
It didn't feel safe. We'll do it next year. God willing, and the creek don't rise. Next year is the Saige Ryan Convention Tour.
Iron in the live studio audience said, Saige, did you actually pass the bar exam? You mentioned it earlier. I actually bought the bar.
Yeah, she owns the bar.
I'm actually the CEO of bar.
She owns the judicial branch. She woke up this morning and bought it.
I did.
So moving on from all that news, let's move on to some good news. I want to talk about, there's so much Marvel news.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's jump to the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got the Eternals final trailer yesterday. Let me tell you, I was a little worried. I was like, are people going to accept the Eternals into their hearts? Are they going to care? Is this going to be a thing? I think this trailer looks great. I think this trailer looks amazing.
It does look good.
I hope people really do. Like, the response to it has been pretty good. Mm-hmm. Pretty good. And it sort of ties in why we haven't heard of the Eternals, what their whole thing is, what they're doing. We're going to do the honor roll at the end. We're going to call out everybody's names. We love you all so much.
We are.
But it introduces this whole new generation of superheroes. And I got to say, the look of this film, Chloe Zhao, please, look at this. We're getting Celestials. We're getting weird space obelisks. Chloe Zhao knows what's up. It is absolutely beautiful. And just the design.
Yeah.
They brought in, Marvel's got a few costumers that they work with. I believe Mayes Rubio is doing the costumes for Eternals. She's sort of like their big, like, A-game costume designer.
Yeah, the costumes was one of the first things we got to see when we got those initial images, and it was just like, Jesus fucking Christ.
So the Eternals is about a group of super beings that has been on Earth for 7,000 years, sort of guiding the evolution of Earth, but they're not supposed to interfere. Something to do with Thanos and the snap and everybody returning has caused a strange event in the universe that causes them to have to come out of hiding. The Eternals report directly to the Celestials. You saw that big space robot. Celestials are wild.
Yes.
In the MCU, the Collector lives in the hollowed out head of a dead Celestial. Ego the Living Planet wasn't a Celestial in the comics, but is a Celestial in the movies. This is so beautiful. They're getting weird and wild, and all the special effects.
Come on.
Doctor Strange has that thing where it's like runes and concentric circles and things like that, right?
So good.
Everything has like so much more of like magic is organic and part of the universe look to it, which I absolutely love. Eagle-eyed viewers will also notice that this is the Stark boys reuniting, which is great. I love that they cast both of them.
Also, no, that was not Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller's not in this, right?
No, Ezra Miller isn't in this. That is the guy, I can't remember his name, but he's in The Green Knight, and he's a great actor. But he has an Ezra Miller vibe. Brian Tyree Henry, of course, is in there, and we love fucking Brian Tyree Henry.
This cast is bananas. They
Fucking
have Salma Hayek, Angelina Jolie, Gemma Chan, Kit Harington, Richard Madden, Brian Tyree Henry. It's Kumail Nanjiani. Like, it's bananas.
You're thinking of Barry Keoghan, or Barry Keoghan is the one who looks like Ezra Miller. There's a lot of talent. They knew. Marvel usually will we're going to take some unknowns and we're going to make them big deals. Yeah. Because you're Captain America now. You're going to be a big deal in Hollywood. They knew that for Phase 4, for these characters, they knew Tony Stark is gone.
Yep.
Everybody's basically pieced out except for Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Some of them are returning in smaller, but like
they've got access to a couple of Chris's, and that's about it.
yeah, they got a couple of Chris's and a Tom for one more movie, you know.
Yeah.
And so they're like, if we're gonna do this, we've got to bring in a big cast instead.
Yeah, and I think in previous phases when they brought in these characters, they wouldn't have been able to get an Angelina Jolie quite simply. They wouldn't have.
I love this. A couple of people have mentioned that Lauren Ridloff is a deaf actress playing a deaf character. We love to see that.
I do love to see that.
Yeah, Kit Harington's in there, and I believe Kit Harington plays the character that will eventually turn into the Black Knight in the comics.
Mm-hmm. He plays Dane Whitman.
So he's like a human that is going along with the Eternals on this, but he does become the Black Knight, which is a great character, and I think Kit Harington is a dope cast for that.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful, and I think it's going to be. I hope it's a big thing for them because Cosmic Marvel is where shit gets so buck wild.
Yes.
And if the world accepts Cosmic Marvel on the big screen,
we love that shit.
that means so much for us.
It does. So that's coming out in November.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be one of your close to the holidays films.
We also got, speaking of, the everybody kind of leaving, who's staying. Anthony Mackie just yesterday closed his deal to be Captain America for Captain America 4. Sam is going to be Captain America in Captain America 4. They're not calling it something different. They're not starting a new series name. It's Captain America 4, and Sam is Captain America. I fucking love that. The Sam Bucky dynamic, ooh, I love the Sam Bucky dynamic. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for more of it.
I'm very excited.
So that's huge.
And another piece of huge freaking Marvel news. We got a little bit of Ironheart news.
Now we knew that Ironheart was coming to Disney Plus.
Of course. That is starring Dominique Thorne. But the piece of news that we did get is that they will be introducing Ironheart in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which is so smart and such an excellent thing to actually give the attention that this character and this performer deserves.
Of course, Riri and Shuri are friends.
Of course
they know each other.
Of course
and if they don't, they're going to love each other.
Oh my God. And the nice thing about this is a character who, like, Ironheart is not a household name for casual superhero or Marvel fans. So by introducing them in one of the proper MCU films, this is the thing to give this show the chance it deserves. And I'm so fucking pumped about that. Thank you for actually caring for this character. Blah!
This is so, Marvel is really nailing and understanding this cross-media thing.
They understood the assignment.
Yeah, especially now that, they've brought all the TV stuff under Disney Plus. It's all under one roof. It's like, well, why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we make you care so much more about Scarlet Witch than you ever have?
Yep.
Before we put her into Doctor Strange.
Yep.
Why wouldn't we show you Ironheart before we give her a series? It's the same thing. It's like what they did with Spider-Man. Hey, I'm Spider-Man. Yeah, we know you're Spider-Man and we're fucking hype. They're very good at that. Feige and the team over there they're strategists. They're strategists and they know what's up. If you're unfamiliar with Ironheart is Riri Williams. She is a 15-year-old super genius who gets accepted to MIT and starts. She basically reverse engineers Iron Man's armor, and Iron Man sees it and is like, oh, okay, so you work for me now, and we're buds. And it's great. In the comic, in the movies, that was a very, like, Tony Stark, Peter Parker relationship, which is not the way it was in the comics. In the comics, Riri and Tony really do have that sort of relationship, and I think that's great that they're bringing her in.
He does. He just loves adopting smart kids.
He loves it. He loves it. All the dysfunctional rich men in comics just love collecting children. They do. Sorry.
We could phrase it differently.
Sorry. Kind of like Iron Man's Tim Drake. Yes.
Yes. I love it.
So, the head writer on Ironheart is Chinaka Hodge, who is was a writer on Amazing Stories and the Snowpiercer series. So that's pretty exciting. And then Michaela Cole from I May Destroy You has joined Wakanda Forever in an unknown role. She is joining Denai Guerrera, Letitia Wright, Daniel Kaluuya, Winston Duke, Lupita Nyong'o, Florence Kasumba, and Angela Bassett. They're all coming back.
Fuck yeah.
I'm very excited to see. At first, I was trepidatious about it, but now I'm excited to see how they are going to handle the loss of T'Challa.
Yeah.
And I think I was worried, like, ooh, is this going to come off like awkward or strange? Now I'm worried they're going to make me cry a lot.
I think they're going to make me cry a lot.
I think they're gonna get it real dusty in that room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they're cutting onions already.
They are cutting those onions.
I have not started What If yet. Have you?
I watched the first one. I haven't watched the most recent one because it's the T'Challa in the Guardians.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I ready for this? Am I ready for this?
No.
I don't know if I'm ready for
ready
this.
for it.
I don't know if I'm ready to hear Chadwick Boseman's voice come out of I just need a moment. I need a moment, I think.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of preparing for it as well because I've heard there's a lot of tears.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tears to be had. Obviously, there's a lot of conversation about Shuri being the Black Panther. I wish with all of my heart that the actress who played Shuri wasn't an anti-vaxxer.
Yes.
There's nothing I wish more.
Yes, we do.
Because I
God.
love Shuri so much.
Love Shuri so much.
God. And
Letitia Wright.
Letitia Wright absolutely crushed that role. Just get vaccinated. Just get vaccinated. But
Somebody, I mean, here's what I'll say as opposed to some of the other problematic people who have had to be removed from things. Somebody, either from her PR team or Disney Marvel PR team, was like, and to her credit, she at least listened, you know? It's like whoever's controlling Chris Pratt's Twitter.
yeah.
Oh, I'll listen. Okay, okay. So.
I cried the second. I cried at the second. Oh my God. You're not ready, but it's so good. I'm very excited to watch What If. It is high on my list. I'm very excited about Ironheart news. We got good Marvel news today, BB.
Good Marvel news. And
I
you know,
love good Marvel news.
there's so much, especially after so much other news. I mean, it's Ted Lasso Biscuit Day. We're hoping everything stays positive. There's so much other news that we didn't get to.
You're so right. So we should probably record one of them and put it on the Patreon.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. If you're not familiar, if you are a member of our Patreon, first of all, thank you.
Thank you. And starting at $5 a month, you get extra clips from It's Too Early all the dang time.
And if you're a fan of our other shows, there's a bunch of other stuff that's going on that Patreon that you're going to love. If you're a fan of our tabletop stuff, we do tabletop sessions with people. There's a lot of cool shit going on our Patreon. And we are but a group of people in an unair-conditioned room.
We are.
Doing our best on our own. So, thank you.
We appreciate you. Very cool of you.
We appreciate everybody for coming out today. We want to give a big thank you to some of the people who gave us some direct support during the show. Here comes the honor roll for the day. Kaylin Rohr, thank you for the 100 cosmic bits. Big Jim 5 with a $67 donation. Since baby's first VidCon can't happen, have some sugar breakfast. Thank you. Eat My Germs, Shindig, Harmony Art. Thank you for following. Hybrid Theory, thank you for the follow and the sub. Welcome. You're trapped here now. You cannot leave. Azorius Nightmare, Casfro Core, thank you for joining. 54 Aquasnakes with $5.77 saying that Jeopardy host is out. Smiley Laugh, it's Ewan, Bilson Pilgros, thank you for the follows. Ronan Monkey, $25.17, attempting to monetize for Lasso Biscuits.
Thank you.
Sir Lionfire with the follow. Harry Horror Show, of course, one of the hosts of One Time on the Internet, right here on this very channel, with the resub for 10 months. By resubbing, Harry has officially spent everything we can afford to pay him.
We love you, Harry.
It's like working on the railroad for the Rockefellers and then spending all your money at the company store to buy groceries. 54 Aqua Snakes with the resub. 7 months in a row, 10 total. Thank you. Says, always enjoy your show. Thank you. We enjoy you being here. Pineapple Hour with the follow. Mike Goochman Twitch giving 5 gift subs. Thank you so much. Neum Birch, thank you for the follow. Mr. Laugh 81 with the resub for 5 months. L. Fogelin, thank you for the follow. Ronan Monkey with 100 bits for the hype train. Thank you.
Very cool of you. Thank you for showing up and supporting the show. Those are some of the ways you can support the show, but there are others.
There are others.
There's plenty of them. Showing up, watching the show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at exactly 8 a.m. Pacific is the #1 way, of course. We're making a show.
The whole reason we make a show is because we were like, if we make this show, do you think people will watch it? I hope people will watch it, and I hope they enjoy it. Mm-hmm. So if you're watching and enjoying it, you're helping. We're living our dream now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
If you missed this show, like Tom Bidan did today, you can go watch it on YouTube. Of course, we got a YouTube channel. The link's right there in chat. All right.
We just got it monetized, and this episode will be demonetized.
It will, absolutely, because we started with the clip.
We started with that clip and went right into sex work chat.
Yep, but that's okay. And hey, allowing us to do so anyways and have these important conversations is because you show up and let us do so, and we're not reliant on YouTube monetizing us. That's very cool. You can share a clip if you want it.
Anybody who, sharing a clip is amazing. Sharing a screenshot, tweeting when we go live, letting people know you like the show, being like, hey, I love this show, maybe you'll like it too, and sharing it. Word of mouth is the biggest and best way to support anything independent that's going on.
It's true.
Also, here's something you can do for no money. Get in that fucking Discord.
It's true. Our Discord is nice.
Get in that Discord. It's full of nice people talking about nice things. If you jump in the It's Too Early channel and you leave a story for us to talk about, we will let you know that we saw it and shout you out on the show.
Absolutely.
A lot of people talking about that Jeopardy this morning right before we went live.
Jeopardy. A lot of people talking about OnlyFans.
DJM, thank you.
Huge thank you.
Grumpy Steen, the Bear Jew.
Akoto
Roku, thank you. Emotional Turducken, thank you all.
Which is Death and Saints, I believe.
So thank you all for dropping those headlines in the chat.
You're good beans.
You're very good beans. And hey, just so you know, in just a few hours, we'll be right back here.
You're so right. At 7 p.m. Pacific for Failed Save. Failed Save is our live play D&D 5e, where you see the two of us play D&D together, as well as a bunch of other talented beans. But hey, where the hell else are you?
Oh, my stars and garters. You mean like spiritually, emotionally? Who knows? But physically and on the internet, I can tell you that everywhere on the internet, I am at a Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me. I also have a comedy science podcast with Jeff Kanata called We Have Concerns. Comes out every Friday. That means there's a new episode today, and we talk about the reality of astronaut food, Saige.
Oh.
What do you picture as astronaut food?
Package dust.
They got a pizza oven on the ISS.
What?
They're eating good.
I'm gonna have to go listen to We Have Concerns, obviously.
The Italian Space Agency built them an espresso machine because you can't have Italians in space without espresso. If you want to find out about that, hit up wehaveconcerns.com. Saige, what do you do with your time?
That's an excellent question. Who knows? Where does it all go? It keeps disappearing. But this afternoon, you can find me for something very special. You can find me on the D&D Beyond channel for a charity game benefiting Jasper's Game Day and Stack Up. I will be live at 2 p.m. Pacific there, and I will be playing there pretty much right up until Failed Save.
Oh, you got a good group, too.
We'll go from 2 to 5. It is a pretty good group. I'll show that group real quick. That's the little group today. We're going to be playing a level 20 game.
Oh, that's chaos. I love it.
It is going to be chaos. You know that I built an archdruid. I had to, quite simply. So it's going to be pretty fun. Obviously, I'll be on Failed Save tonight. You can find me all the dang time on the D&D channel, Mad Cave Studios, Smosh Games, and here, so much.
Hey, if you're a patron, we'll see you in a few minutes. If you're not, we'll see you tonight.
We love you, babies.
We love you.
We'll see you soon. Bye.